Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. It is April 10, 2017 at 12:26 a.m. in Birmingham. Topic: have you noticed something on the internet? In the past 10 days at a minimum, the people who are broadcasting Rapture of the Church has increased probably about 100-fold. And at the same time, those blogs talking about the revealing of the offspring of the Watchers or the aliens have dropped as quickly or as much as the rapture had been talked about. Why is that? I think one thing is that the revealing won't happen until after the church is taken out. And I believe that most everybody, and I think one of the number one guys who talk about it is L. Marzulli. And but those who talk about it, Tom Horn, Chris Putnam, but he passed away recently, and these guys, all of a sudden, it's just like it is put it aside for a moment. Excuse me. And but the rapture of the church, I have never in my life seen so many people saying, God showed me this. I saw this in a dream. I saw this 3 days in a row, that's verification. I saw this 4 days in a row, that's verification. And 5 days. And one person as far as said 5 is a number of evil. And I'm hearing everything. But I'm going to tell you what I believe. I'm in a quandary right now. I know that Jupiter, for the first time ever, has entered into the womb of Virgo, the virgin, the woman, and that was December 23, 2016, and is going to exit on September 23, 2017, exactly to the date, 9 months. And when that happens, you have Leo above, which will crown our head with 9 stars, but yet the other 3 will, by some miracle, move in an unpredicted way, but yet will complete the stars, which are 12, in the Bible, which is Revelation chapter 12. And that is Mars, Venus, and Mercury. So at the bottom, you have the dragon. You have Satan, that old serpent, waiting to devour the child that is born. And at somewhere around that time, his tail will swipe across the sky, knocking the stars to the ground. These stars are angels, guys. They're not meteors. They're not asteroids. They're not comets. They're angels. But the quandary I'm in is if the church is to be removed in chapter 4, verse 1, and it's not talked about again until chapter 17, or I need to look, maybe 17 or 18, I think 17. But here's the problem. Here's what I'm sorry. We're still here. You know, if all this takes place in September 23, that's chapter 12, guys. We're still here. That means if we're still here in chapter 12, that means we're in the tribulation today. So that's the quandary I'm in. And not only that, if the rapture were to occur, but yet Trump was given 4 years, and to add to that, remember the wise men that went to find Jesus. It took them 2 years to get to Jesus. He was a 2-year-old when they got there. And then Herod told him, when you find him, you come back and tell me so that I may go and worship him too. But instead, Herod sent out a troop to kill him. And at that time, he knew that it apparently was going to take 2 years. So everybody under 4, or age of 4 under, had to die, every male child. But Jesus had escaped, to Jordan, I think. So that's 2 years. And if the 2 years, well, that's the quandary too. So I'm in 2 of them. We're in the tribulation, if indeed we're to see these things happen in the sky, which they're happening today. And then there's another date coming up. The Nisan started March the 30th, I believe, for the Jews. But then their 49th year ends in June the 7th. And then it starts the 50th year, the Jubilee. Well, what happens then? Daniel's 49th week. The Jubilee is Daniel's 50th week. It's the 49th ends in June the 7th. And then they begin the 50th week, which is the final 7 years of time. So you can see where I'm confused about multiple things. And I don't know where you are about that, but I'm seeing signs that say we shouldn't be here right now. According to the book of Revelations, the church should not be here right now, because when this happens, in the belly of Virgo, Jupiter is taking a mild spin for 9 months. Never before happened, nor will it ever happen again. And the 3 stars that make up Leo's 12 for the crown never happened again. The sun is going to clothe the woman in the moon at her feet. That's never happened, and it won't happen again. So that's almost conclusive. Something's going to happen on September 23. What I'm seeing there is that these things could indeed swipe the tail and kick these angels to earth. And at the same time, NASA won't talk about it. But they did tell Williamson, this guy that had a blog with L.A. Marzulli, I think his name is Mark Williamson. He found that NASA found there was going to be something that would shake this world to its core. And when does that happen? Right about the same date, around September 22, 23. So what is it that NASA's seeing that we don't see? What is it that Lucifer, the Vatican's telescope on Mount Graham, is seeing and has been tracking for a number of years that we don't see, or that they're not telling? And then what about the soft disclosure? It's gone silent for 10 days. And everyone's talking about the rapture of the church anywhere between June 7 to September 23. I'm not going to give a date. There's no way. Personally, I would love for it to happen tonight. And it can happen anytime from this second until Trump Trump goes 2 terms, 8 years. I mean, things may not be quite as they seem. Although the Bible is correct, maybe our interpretation is not. And I have a friend of mine that tells me every time we talk, Jody, we are in the tribulation. We're in it. And of course, she thinks we'll go all the way through it, but there's no way. If we're in it, then certainly that would make sense that we would see chapter 12 come to pass. I don't know. I'm listening to all these people that I'm used to telling me this is what's going to happen. And I researched them. But now I'm finding all these clues, but every single one of them have gone beyond chapter 4, verse 1 in tribulation. That's my stalemate. I can't back up. I can't go forward because I don't know how. If I could get you there, I would tell you. But I do want to leave you with this. Assume the rapture is going to happen in 1 minute. They always say assumption is the mother of all screw-ups. Not the case. You assume it's going to happen in the next minute. And then you won't have to worry about saying, oh my God, I wish I had one more breath before the rapture came. And then you'll be wishing, wow, I could have done it a minute ago and I'd be safe. But you didn't. Just think about that. I really want you to think about where we are. We are in tribulations. Like it or not, we're in it. The book of Revelation, we're in that book. And we're leaning in 9 months, or I say 9 months, December, January, February, March, April, 4 months. 4 full months. May, June, July, August, September, 5 months. We're going to be in, will we go beyond the 23rd of September? What's going to happen? I can't give you an answer. All I can tell you is you be ready for whatever happens. But I do not believe that we're going to be hit by North Korea, not while we're still here. And I believe we can take out anything they have before it can hit us, even if it's dropped from a satellite. I don't believe it for a minute. I believe for every one they shoot, we can shoot 101. And we have defense abilities that no one really knows about, especially Star Wars. No one knows about that. Y'all heard about it. You also heard that Reagan talked about it, and Bush said it didn't happen, told Russia we didn't have it. Baloney, we have it, and it's set up. And you better believe it is setting at about 10, just like 10 points of light at 10 targets today. And you better bet 3 of them are on North Korea. You better bet 3 of them are on Iran. And you better bet the others are on Russia. And that's at a minimum. Guys, just be ready. But don't think you're going to get the hell beat out of you by judgments. And then Jesus calls us home. I don't believe that for a minute. I'll never believe it. Jody Wolf Expoz.